Hello, everyone. This is Professor Hill, and this is another short video for our class Introduction to Ethics 2306 here at St. Philip's College. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of January, and we're in week 2. Hopefully, you've got your book, or it's about to arrive because you're going to need it in order to read Chapter 1 and prepare for the discussion, which I've posted. It's online now, which will be due Sunday night at midnight. The rhythm we hope to get into is to read a chapter, look at the case study, apply the concepts from that chapter to the case study, the issues we're wrestling with, and have a discussion in class, which is why I ask you to both spend some time, write a great contribution, think of it as a small essay that you're writing every week, and then also to comment on the contributions, the essays of your classmates. So you want to make sure that you've got your book, you read the chapter, you spend some time applying those concepts to the contributions you post, and then take a look around and read some of the other ones and respond to their contributions as well. So since not everybody has their book yet, I've been marching through Chapter 1, talking a little bit about some of the key concepts. In the section called The Ethical Landscape, you'll recall I've already talked about descriptive ethics, normative ethics, and meta-ethics. The last of those 4 concepts is applied ethics. And let me just read the definition right out of the book here, which is applied ethics, the application of moral norms to specific moral issues or cases, particularly those in a profession such as medicine or law. So this is kind of a small area of ethics, but an important one. And it applies within a specific regulated discipline like medicine or law because they're organized into groups where you have to have a license by the state in order to practice in that area. And over time, these practitioners have developed a history of what is good practice, what makes sense, what's the best way in which to exercise our profession in terms of its highest, noblest goals, and, like I said, best practices. Now, they're not laws, but they're more than guidelines. These best practices get codified into a code of ethics. And a doctor, a lawyer, when they're practicing, they have to abide by this code of ethics. And if they don't, there's a hook, the profession itself. They can regulate this. And if there's a complaint saying someone's violated the code of ethics, there's an investigation. The board has the power to reprimand people, to suspend them from the practice, even to kick them out, take their state license away. So that's the hook that they have. It's not the same as breaking the law and the police arrest you and there's a criminal justice system and prison. That's a separate thing. Here, the punishment is that you can be fined, suspended, and even expelled from the profession. Now, again, these things are very formal, they're very regulated, and they don't apply to everybody else. In fact, they only apply to those people in the course of their practice. But in these fields, we talk about business ethics, medical ethics. That's a source of authority for us as we're trying to make ethical decisions. We want to pay attention to what is the law. We want to pay attention to what are our values and beliefs. But certainly, there's also, in many cases, there's going to be an applicable code of ethics, and we need to source that out and figure out, again, what's the contribution here? What's the best practice according to these codes? Now, we're going to start off. The first discussion was simply an introduction. Our first real case study is the case of Jenny Lake. As I mentioned, it's posted up now. It's a difficult case. It's not going to end well. So let me just warn you right off the bat. This is a sad story, and it's a difficult choice. And the short version is simply this. Jenny Lake was a young 17-year-old girl, and she found out that she was very sick. She had cancer. She had a brain tumor. The cancer had spread to certain parts of her body, including her spinal cord. But the doctors who discovered it said to her, listen, you're young and otherwise healthy, and with aggressive chemotherapy and radiation treatment, your odds are pretty good. So she begins this treatment. But then what happens is, after a few weeks, she also finds out that she's pregnant. And she's left with this very stark choice. And that stark choice is continue the life-saving therapy that she needs, the radiation and chemotherapy, although that would absolutely end the pregnancy, or stop that treatment, try to allow the baby enough time to grow and develop and to be born, but by stopping her own treatment for a period of months, certainly her own cancer would grow to the point of being critical, being lethal. And so there's this relatively stark choice. The doctors sit her down, her family, she's got a boyfriend, parents. You'll see all the details in the case study. But she has this decision to make. And I want you to think about, what choice would you make? What would you consult? Are there laws or medical ethics? Would you consult, your family's religion? What becomes important to you when you're trying to make an extraordinary decision like that? Well, there's a related question, which is also, what's your judgment about Jenny Lake's decision? And what happens when we get to this point is lots of people, they don't want to judge Jenny and her decision. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so close. It would seem like I'm somehow judging and somehow putting myself above her in order to judge her. We have these really kind of negative connotations associated with that. And listen, agreed. If you have in the back of your head some tiny voice saying, oh, we shouldn't be judging others, that's really about not being haughty, thinking we're better or over other people, which is kind of what's associated with that. But listen, we do have to make decisions. We do have to make judgments. We have to do this all the time, and that's going to be part of this course. So please don't say things like, oh my gosh, I just can't make a decision. No, listen, I need you to make a decision and then explain why. There's no getting out of it. Because when you think about it, that was the problem that Jenny Lake and her family was faced with. This is a true story. It's a real case. There was no just walking away. The fact of the matter is she had to make a decision. So I want you to also look through the case, look at the details, and then answer the questions, which is, in this case, what do you think about Jenny Lake's decision? Do you think it was right or wrong? Why? And when you do that, think about the medical ethics involved as well. It's tricky, and it takes some thought. So, again, what I want you to do to prepare for your answer is read Chapter 1 of our textbook, Doing Ethics by Louis Vaughn. Think about applied ethics and the other types of ethics that's being described there. And then explore that issue. Think about that case study and let us know what you think. And then after you've posted that, you'll be able to see the other students' comments, go in and respond to at least 2 other students as well. It's a hard assignment. And I got to tell you, guys, it only gets more difficult from here. We're going to deal with some complex, difficult philosophical issues, difficult ethical choices that we have to make. Listen, that's what's in store for us. If you're a human being, if you have family, if you have friends, you have either already faced incredibly difficult ethical choices, or you've got some coming down the road for you. So it helps to think about these things ahead of time, to develop a personal framework, and to sort out our feelings and values, and to consult the rules and explore these issues before we're faced with those type of, in some cases, dramatic ethical choices. So good luck. Let me know if you're having any problems getting a hold of the book. Otherwise, get the book, read the chapter, make that contribution, and contribute to at least 2 of your classmates. That's due Sunday night, so you got plenty of time. But spend some time thinking about it. It'll be worth it. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.